a new camera, and this ain't it. This is my old one. This is the HF200, which I am now on a HF700, which is a step up from what I had. But anyway, I love this camera. I thought it did extremely well for modeling purposes, and I just happened to run across another one that was just the right price, had stuff with it. So I'm looking forward to trying out the new camera so we can make better videos and hopefully better audio too, because I'm also try to get a new lapel one to go with it. I want to try to see how that works out, and I want to get a hood for this, and I may get a wide angle lens depending on I want to see which one I like best and see how well it works out. But anyway, that's we're on a new camera, so bear with me if I stutter along here because I'm trying it out. The Hearse, I got the clear parts in. I also went ahead and masked everything off. Now I kind of do things a little backwards here. I like to I'm the type of modeler that likes to get all the parts on. I just way I am. This way I won't, if I get the clear parts on, you're less likely to be careless, and you'll see that the parts here, so you know there won't be no mistakes. That's one reason why I do it. Plus I like to on car models, I like to get the clear part on and make like a little seam, if anything, when you do paint, or a you know, like Future for example, just makes a nice seam around the edges. But that's just that's another thing. But I did get everything taped off, and so I'm ready to do the trim and everything on that. But I got to paint one more coat on here, and I'll be satisfied with that. I did go ahead and paint the bottom here. It's just very quick with a brush. You're not going to see, but maybe, you know, this part right here underneath the carriage, and that's just all I did on that. And the bottom here, I went ahead and dry brushed the bottom, and it's just real quick, just to highlight just a few little extra areas. Nothing fancy. I mean, it's going to be sitting down all the time, so you know, no one will really see it. And I think it just gives it a little bit of color, you know, and then just having a, you know, solid black piece. But anyway, getting closer to I gotta put one more coat of paint, because I got one more spot on the hood here, if you can see it, where it's light. And I just need to put one more coat. Hopefully I can get that done today, and then I can start doing the trim, and then I can get the body, the interior into the carriage there, and then put the body on, and that's my game plan. But hopefully we will get to it. The visible dog, last I left off, I did get the vanes painted on the main body, but I went ahead and just need more space here. I did go ahead and paint the vanes that go on the inner leg. So I did that on all four of them. No, and I just basically I basically did it like a wash. I thinned it out really thin, the red paint there, and then painted on just to give it just you know, not bright red here, but just enough to make it look believable, and just, you know, not too much of a contrast. So what I'm up next on, what I'm going to do is I got to do the start doing the bones. So what I'm going to do is try to I'm thinking about getting the legs assembled, and I'll be using microcrystal clear. Get them assembled, and then put down his bone on his legs. I want to see, I may put one together and just see if it'll slide right in. If not, I'll have to put it together, put that bone in, then put the clear part on. That's my thinking on that. But its instructions are somewhat kind of vague, but you know, this is kind of one of those I want to have to jump around just a little bit. I got to get the bones together, and then we'll have to start painting the organs, because I need to, and I want to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cheat a little bit on painting. It's basically going to be a lot of washes, so stay tuned for that. And I got to learn me some bone anatomy, you know, the chest bone connected to the hip bone, all that good stuff. So we're getting closer to that. So hopefully that's my game plan, trying to get that accomplished. The Enterprise, I did flip it over. I light block the bottom here, and I'm not I don't light block the whole thing. That's just me, and I don't do that light blocking the whole thing. I just don't think it's worth the time, and that's pretty much all that was a major issue, was just right here and on the top there. And I forgot, I don't know if I showed anyone, but I did fill in the hole with epoxy sculpt. So there's only going to be one seam, and I probably mentioned this before, but it's going to be right through here. The decals is going to have to hide it. If you notice, if I tried to sand it, it's not worth it. I mean, you'd completely have to redo the entire Aztec pattern. However, the Aztec pattern on here is not accurate at all. But that's another story. But we don't want to take the fun out of it. I mean, if you if you sand it down and resculpt it. But anyway, the decal should hide it. It's going to be there, but it's the way it is going to be. But anyway, I got the deflector dish masked off. What I'm going to do, and this is so bright, the firing torpedo, I'm just going to paint it all black and just scrape off the torpedo housing, and it should be just fine on that. But anyway, we're getting close to painting. Hopefully, what I'm hoping is I got to mask off the inward nacelles, the blue there. Take some liquid mask here that I've done for the navs, get them taken care of, and then try to get some paint on. That's my game plan, so I can start next week at least trying to get some of the Aztec on, and probably very little painting. If I can't decide. I got to see how the decals work. May have to paint, and I may not. It just depends on if Accreation's decals will cover like the pylons here and all that stuff. But anyway, we'll jump to that. And I started the what's it called? The Big Petty. That's what I named it. This is the Big Petty car, and I started on instruction 1, basically the carriage here. Again, I'm a type of person, I assemble first before I paint, and there's not a whole lot that I want to have to paint detail first and then put it on. I want to get this painted first and then paint all a little detail last. But anyway, down to the battery box, or excuse me, the battery, and then I got this is a 70s kit, I can tell you that right now, because trying to find some of the parts on here, because some of it's labeled and some of it isn't, and that was always a issue they had back then. But anyway, basically I gotta find that, and I gotta find that, so hopefully I'll find that later on today, and I can get it on in the morning. But anyway, got that assembled, and we're just going to do one thing at a time till we get it assembled and get it ready to start painting. But anyway, starting the Big Petty car. I think that's it. I should have a shed update, and we'll probably talk a little more about the Zapped Falcon prize. But anyway, we are starting the Big Petty car. We are continuing on with the Hearse, and doing some vane work on the Visible Dog, and doing some light blocking on the Ertl A. So that's what I have got going on today, so stay tuned for the next exciting episode.